This is a picture of Alan with some of his friends.
Born into a military family, Alan Younger seemed destined to follow those footsteps.
He wanted to go out, he wanted to explore, he wanted to see more and experience more, and he used the Army as kind of an avenue for it.
He met his wife Amber when both were in training to become combat medics. Eventually, Amber left the military. The couple had a daughter, Mariska, got married, and Alan deployed to Iraq. Once home, he joined the National Guard and was accepted to the chemical engineering program at KU.
He was just really smart.
But Alan was hiding a secret.
He told his therapist that he struggled with depression in high school. He hid it from a lot of people. He didn't want his family or his friends to think less of him or to judge him for having a mental illness. But then there's also within the career of the Army. You have to be tough, you have to be strong, you can't show weakness.
On a 2-week break from deployment, 2 friends in Iraq were killed by an IED. He then had a close friend die by suicide. Amber says it sent Alan spiraling. He stopped therapy, stopped medications, and then it became too much.
It was August 12th, 2013.
Amber says Alan was argumentative that night. He stood in their bedroom doorway.
And he brought his hand around and I saw him holding the gun. I jumped off the bed and I ran at him. He didn't hesitate, he didn't stall. As I ran towards him, he put the gun up to his head, locked his eyes into mine, and pulled the trigger as I screamed no. And then he fell back.
David Keever says his story nearly came to a similar ending.
Starting to just become an angry and violent type of person.
David entered the Marine Corps as an almost rebellious act, but found he thrived on the structure and detail. He deployed to Iraq, then Afghanistan, where he found himself in the battle for Marja.
It's only supposed to be a couple-day type of deal, they say, be in and out, and it definitely wasn't like that whatsoever. None of us were prepared for it. We weren't supposed to be prepared for it, but we made the best that we could out of it and came out well, and from the grace of God is why as many as my men walked out as they did, including myself.
But 3 men did not. Once off active duty, David entered a vicious cycle trying to cope with what he'd seen in and out of treatment before finally finding the PTSD program at Topeka's VA, only to become discouraged at the wait to get in.
Decided, at that point in time, the only choice I had in life that I knew that I'd keep going was just to be homeless and live out on the street until I got help.
He finally came across the Military Veteran Project. They helped him get home, complete the paperwork to get into the PTSD program, and matched him with a battle buddy, Vietnam veteran Dennis.
Talked through a lot of stuff in life. It made me feel like I wasn't the only one. It showed me that I wasn't.
That support, David says, changed everything. He wants others who find themselves where he was and those who love them to know, don't give up.
People that experience the PTSD, we don't even understand it. But I just say stick in there, continue to put forth the effort to get help, and I promise that it will have a light at the end of the tunnel.
A light that's needed to keep others from suffering in silence.
It's easier to say my loved one is mentally ill or my soldier is mentally ill. It's so much easier to do that than to bury them. And once that cloak is taken away and the hushed tones and the stigma, it's going to make getting help so much easier.
Ralph, thanks. The biggest cheers at one high school basketball game Tuesday weren't sparked by a play on the court, but for one special student's moment in the spotlight. The sights and sounds of the big game are part of the normal high school experience. And 15-year-old Council Grove freshman Colby Davis nearly missed out.
I had contemplated not even allowing her to go to high school. I was very fearful.
Colby was born with a condition that stopped oxygen to her brain, resulting in permanent damage and developmental delays.
I was very concerned for her, being in the hallway with a lot of kids, the noise, the interaction between teenagers.
But her parents, Jeanette and Jamie, took a chance. And one day, the school's cheerleading coach filled in as Colby's para and brought her to practice.
What do you like about cheerleading?
Everything.
Colby was hooked. So too was the squad.
She just makes us all smile. Like, we'll be walking down the hallways and she'll just be like, "Hi guys," and it can cheer anybody up.
She was such a high-spirited, and she would just go out there and she would try her hardest.
Tuesday night, the girls did something more.
And I'm not nervous. It's so exciting.
Colby stood among them, courtside, cheering on the Braves. Her infectious spirit winning over everyone.
How you doing, Coach?
How you doing?
Even the guys in stripes.
Doing a good job down here. Keep it up.
The biggest moment came at halftime.
We would like to take some time to welcome Colby into the...
There was Colby's center court, getting her own team jacket.
She has a good time. It's about her.
I think Colby deserves it.
As the crowd rose to its feet, a mother was reduced to tears. And Colby? Well, Colby was on top of the world.
I don't think they realize the impact that they've had on her and our family by including her.
Colby Davis! Colby Davis!
It gave her a place. And for her to come in and actually have a place and have girls, like the cheerleaders, just love on her in this way and accept her and help her along, it means a lot.
As much as it's changed Colby, the girls say it's changed them too.
Colby just goes to show that anyone can do anything that they set their mind to.
They're the best friends in the whole world. And we love them.
And Colby's mom told me today she woke up and she put that jacket right back on this morning, and so she is absolutely thrilled. And like Jeanette said, that the girls don't even realize the impact they had on that family. Really changed Colby's life.
I hope that is an awesome, awesome jacket. And will Colby need that jacket again to go to classes tomorrow?
I don't know. Jeremy Goodwin, what kind of temperatures can we expect?
You can go play.
4-year-old Daniel is the youngest of Jeanette and Joe Wood's 6 biological and 5 adopted children.
He's full of energy.
Danny lives with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a degenerative condition which will likely shorten his life to his 20s.
It's like being picked the most amazing, beautiful flower and then praying it doesn't wilt.
The family says Danny blossoms most when he's around trains.
Daniel's already been to over 30 states. He counts trains as we drive through the states. He always is looking for trains.
Make-A-Wish Kansas heard about Danny from his doctors and dug into a dream. What if Danny had his very own train in his backyard to ride whenever he wanted?
This wish has been in the works actively since January.
A man in Illinois found a retired mini train for them, but it needed a lot of work. So they approached Lance Smith, whose son previously had a wish granted, to talk to his boss at Waltz Auto Body Car Star for an unusual restoration challenge.
He came into my office and said, "Dean, you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess."
With the centerpiece on track and Davis Electric wired to do the electrical work,
You want to tight up against the dirt? You want to
Make-A-Wish and Danny's family led an army of volunteers, including real Army soldiers from Fort Riley, to lay the tracks, add a play area, even build a depot.
In this wish, there was about 15 businesses and clubs and associations that were a part of it. In making that happen, and hundreds and hundreds of volunteer hours.
You want to go see Sprite?
Danny, recovering from a recent hospital stay, had no idea what was happening in his backyard.
Look at all those people!
Until now. It was all a bit overwhelming.
Everybody ready?
Then they hit that switch.
It is an amazing opportunity to watch the family come together with the community that they're a part of and see the magic that Make-A-Wish can bring.
You want to go on the ride again?
A moment that made the past 6 months come full circle for all involved.
The smile on Daniel's face was priceless. All the hard work that the guys put in to this, to see the smile on that little boy's face was truly amazing.
Daniel attracts people. He makes people pause and remember what's important in life.
And on this day, nothing mattered more than a little boy engineering a community to believe in the magic of a wish.
There have been literally hundreds of people that have shown love to a little boy they've never met. And they have no idea. They have no idea what it means to our family.